Okay, I'll call this meeting to order. It's 6:30. Welcome, everybody. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our additions to the agenda, we have the floodplain bylaws. And the planning commission grant? Municipal planning grant. Okay, is there a motion to add these?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, Michael?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
I'm an aye. Okay, I have no remarks, except it was a beautiful day today. Open public comment for items not on the agenda. Any? Yes, Nancy.
Yes, I'd just like to say, the Wyndham Regional Woodland Association will be guiding, well, actually, Bob Spencer will be taking a group of people on Saturday, June 4th at 10 o'clock to the Roaring Brook Falls. It's open to the public. It's being sponsored by us, but basically it'll be a 2-hour walk up, have lunch, 2-hour walk down. Everyone is invited.
Thank you very much. We'll have that put on the Facebook.
The rain date is the 11th.
Okay. That's in here. Okay, approval of minutes, April 19th.
I move they be accepted as printed.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, Michael? Tom?
Aye.
I'm an aye. Motion carries. May 3rd. We just need to put the 3rd in the heading because it just says May. That's the only correction I found.
Yeah, do you want to amend to say that, or you just want
You can
to
make
call
a-
it a Scrivener's note?
I wasn't here and I'm abstaining, so as long as
Oh,
we'll
you
be.
can't take care of it.
Okay then, we'll get it fixed the next time.
Well, next meeting.
A chance to fix it. Okay, warrants. Tom?
Madam Chair, I move that the board approve the following warrants. Number 22T, accounts payable for $61,016.33. Warrant 18S, payroll $8,990.78. And warrant 19S, payroll $8,667.80.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye. Motion carries. Town admin report.
So the Girl Scouts have purchased an evergreen tree to be planted on the common adjacent to the gazebo. The road commissioner is prepared to dig the hole this Thursday as long as the board is in agreement with the location. Is everyone gonna last Thursday I attended the annual Southern Vermont Economy Summit. Martin Langdeville from the Planning Commission and the director of the Governor Hunt House was in attendance and did a wonderful presentation at the Sparks to Shovels meeting. And it was making ideas materialize through funding, red tape, and obstacles along the way. And during the meeting, at the very beginning, we also had a conversation with the State of Vermont Energy Department representative who will be connecting with municipalities regarding state energy recovery funds to do energy audits, improvements, and energy changeovers. So there's more grant money out there.
Great.
And just to let you know that I will be out this Thursday at the spring conference for the Vermont Town and City Management Association.
Where is it?
It's gonna be in Dorset. And I'll be there till 4:15. If anyone needs me, feel free to leave me a voicemail or email me. and I can
It'll be
get
fun.
back to you.
The quarry will be awful cold this time of year, though.
That's all I have.
Okay. New business, DV Fiber, Anna, Munson, and Mark. You're on.
Well, thank you for giving us the opportunity to suggest a use for ARPA funds. As you know, DV Fiber is committed to provide a fiber optic broadband for all addresses in the 24 towns that are part of DV Fiber. That means we will have the capacity to connect to every town. The beginning is, of course, dealing with our charter is to cover the locations that are unserved or underserved. In that context, Vernon has about 83 unserved properties, and it's a little unsure exactly how many because we have to canvas to see who it doesn't have, adequate. We are committed to provide 100 gig fiber network up and down. The federal best, it says if you have 25 down and 4 up, you're okay. That's long gone from being useful. What we want to make sure is that cost is not a barrier to people being able to connect. I don't know if you've noticed, but the federal government has a $30 a month if you have if you're under the 200% of the poverty level, which for family of 4 is $55,000 or so. It comes up and goes down. There is no such subsidy anywhere for connectivity, the cost of connecting. And that's what we'd like to talk to you about. We are not asking for money for DV Fiber. That's what we're looking for is the opportunity for townspeople who cannot afford to make the connections to get some ARPA funds to do that. We have looked at it. DV Fiber is committed to connecting to 400 feet from the pole to your house, which is quite a distance. If you know your neighbor, he spent $3,000 to get connected just up this pasture road. Fortunately, he was able to do that, but there are lots of people who aren't going to, particularly people who live in mobile homes, because those require you to have underground connections. Many of those conduits can simply be replaced, if there is fiber there, can simply be replaced. If there is cable, you can just pull out the cable and put in the other. But in many instances, people are going to have to put in a conduit before we can put that in. It's not a huge number of people, but it's a significant barrier to them being connected. What we are suggesting is that a fund the money be set aside to provide connectivity for people who can't afford it. That, as you probably know about ARPA money, you can set aside, and if you don't use it, you can later on use it for something else. It's very flexible. But we're suggesting that maybe $30,000, which is less than 4% of the total amount of ARPA funds that the town is likely to be getting, according to town meeting. Set that aside. It's a small amount, but it will make a difference. As we all know, the fiber is no longer a luxury; it's a necessity. The amount of times we were using it during the pandemic for the school, for healthcare, for all sorts of things that have expanded the need for it. So we're not asking for a huge amount of money, we're not asking for DV fiber. We're asking that the town consider setting aside some money to help the people who cannot get connected. We do that in other areas. We plow for for seniors. We have a farmland fund. We have a number of instruments that allow us to help a certain segment of the town. And certainly the people who do not have the possibility of being able to afford the connectivity, when it arrives in probably 2 years' time, we're going to start, we believe we're going to start laying fiber this fall. It's obviously going to start in the really unserved places. Jacksonville, Whitingham, Stamford, Halifax, Marlborough, but then largely the planning has already been made. We have the secondary plans for connecting the entire 24 towns. So that we will end up when the final third of planning, we will, as I said, have capacity to connect anyone in the town. We will definitely, you know, Vernon has probably 3 areas that are really unconnected. Broadbrook area, Laurel Ledges, and Basin Road, and that area.
Scott Road also has,
Hmm?
you add Scott Road to that.
Yes, Scott Road is but that's, all those places will already in the planning have a way to connect. And then once you connect those, if you happen to run by somebody else's house and they would like the services, that's easy to do. But so what we'd like you to consider is just what I said, setting aside money from ARPA to be able to make sure that people who need internet connectivity and want it can get it without undue burden on their part. Also, quite frankly, the more people we connect, the better it is, the more solvent we become. The nice thing about DV Fiber is that we're a nonprofit, so we don't need to make money off the top. We're all volunteers. There are only a few people, consultants, who are being paid. In the 24 towns, everybody working on this is working for nothing. So we're not asking money for us. We're asking money to be set aside for those who will need it when the time comes. Anything else?
Any questions? Tom?
It would seem to me, and I may be wrong, that this would be a good, because it's not just Vernon, all of the towns are gonna have similar issues with some folks that just aren't able to make the cost. And it would seem to me that this would be an excellent application by the Wyndham Regional Commission or another entity for a community development block grant for that purpose, to connect those that have income or other related issues that they can't afford to bring it in. That's just a thought, it's not, okay.
If I just...
Well, let me, if I, that's my first thought. The second thought would be that with all of the ARPA funding that's coming in for such activity, for broadband and connectivity and the $30 and all that there's probably a pool of money that could be external from the town's ARPA funds that could be applied for this purpose as well. My own, and I think I told you this, my own personal opinion for the ARPA money is that it should be utilized for local capital one-time expenditures that benefit the entire community. I'm not opposed to this proposal per se. I think there are some other options that may be available. I would like, however, and as the board has done in the past, on some things, I would like to wait till there's a full board to make a determination on this and not just have 3/5 of the board make a determination on this.
Anything with ARPA has to go in front of the whole town, right?
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I am not in disagreement with what you're saying. I will say that we are doing this in other towns. Presentations have been made to Marlborough and to Newfane, and we're continuing to do that. What we wanted to do is get in early, to get our toe in. We're not asking for much. I agree with you that there probably are other avenues and will be worked on, but this is kind of a yes and situation. The way to get this done as efficiently and quickly is to have have funds available as quickly as possible. We're not asking you to spend them, we're asking you to earmark it or set it aside in a way that it can be used.
But it would have to go to town meeting,
Mm-hmm.
so that would be next May,
No, we have to have a special.
unless you have a
meeting for our
special.
funds.
I mean, you're going to be getting a lot of
Yeah.
requests and suggestions.
Well, okay, so my recommendation still holds that the board hold off on making a recommendation on this till the full board can vote it.
We have to have at least 3 ayes. What was you gonna say, Michael?
I mean, we don't need a vote on this, it's gotta go to the town, so
Yeah.
we can put the idea on the list. Just look at the rest of them. It's not up to us.
Okay. So we will put it on the list.
Great.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
your time.
Thank you
And
for all your
hopefully
work.
support.
Yeah, if you could figure out how to use an iPhone.
But you'll ask the commission to look at that, please?
I think we already have, but I'm not sure.
I beg your pardon?
You'll ask the commission to look at perhaps a county-wide or a region-wide CDBG, regional CDBG grant?
There are, like you said, other avenues
Yeah,
that are, ways of using the ARPA funds.
it's just, there's just so much money floating around for these types of things right now. Like, I just gotta assume that there's a pool of money for this.
So this is not just the only, way to fund, the income challenge, to help income challenged households.
Right.
There are.
Oh, I know, yeah,
Other
right.
means of other grants, and even pre-subscribers and subscribers will be able to offset and help,
Yeah,
but this is just one option.
And a way for the town to help
Yeah.
its
Yeah.
citizens.
Very good.
Is DV fiber gonna fall under the federal grant money for free for people?
The $30 a month?
Yeah.
Well, since we aren't right yet doing anything, there are 50 companies that have signed up to be doing that, including Comcast and Consolidated. It would be my assumption that we would be doing that sort of exact same sort of thing.
I get 100 for free from Xfinity for being a disabled veteran.
Uh-huh. I mean, there are all sorts of different ways that money can be channeled to help people who really need it.
Very good. Thank you
Thank you.
very much. Okay, we have a request from the listers that we would approve the extension from the automatic extension time from June 4th, 2022, so they can complete the necessary work for this year's grand list. This request is made under Title 32, Section 4342. I think they do this every year.
What about date they're extending it to?
What did I put it to?
June 4th.
June
And the
4th.
extension timeline of June 4th.
This is
From June 4th to what, though? Yeah.
It looks like it's a, just a standard form. It says the request is made under Title 32, Section 4342.
It's probably Title 32.
That's down the bottom of the page.
No, I have that.
Previous select board set of dates fixed by law.
That's with signature.
That's what we-
That's what we have.
Yeah, it just says on written application, therefore made by listers or assessors of any town with the approval of select board or of the town or mayor of the city, the several dates fixed by law and extended by section 4341 of this title or chapter of any municipal corporation, on or before which acts must be done relating to duties of listers and assessors, may be further extended by the director, and such extensions shall be in writing.
Excuse me.
Just as.
If you want me to speak about this really quick, this is Chad Baldwin.
Hi, Chad.
Perfect.
It's because of the utilities, they still haven't turned in their stuff, and so therefore we have to ask for an extension before we turned in the grand list.
So Chad, are you asking an extension from June 4th to later, or is June 4th the extension date?
June 4th is the extension date.
Ah, perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
I move that we sign it.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, Michael?
Aye.
Tom?
Okay, aye.
And I'm an aye. Why do we have two?
She needs to.
Okay. The motion carries. We will sign this.
I think one has to be nailed on this date.
Here, Michael? We just have to do it fast. All right, thank you. Let me pass it back to Shelley, please. Okay. Access Mobility Agreement.
So the Access Mobility Agreement is to have the test done on the wheelchair lift. As the last one we signed, I was told by the company after we had signed it that due to the brand, they do not test this type of wheelchair lift. So then I went with the company we've used in the past. And so we need to sign a new agreement.
How much is it for?
Yearly fee of 400.
It's for the
Okay,
Cat 1 test.
all
Yeah,
right.
we need to include that in the budget this time. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we sign the contract with Access Mobility for a yearly fee of $400.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor, Michael?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
And an aye, motion carries. One signature line. Landscaping contract.
That would be the chair that would sign that.
Okay, landscaping contract. You're up again, Shelley.
Landscaping contract.
So there's two copies.
Okay, so I contacted the gentleman who had done the snow and ice removal, to mow the the grass at Town Hall is, he's a landscaping company, and, he had submitted a contract, the amount of $300 each time he comes through. So, he thought he might give us a little bit of a discount if we wanted to also go for the whole season, knowing that we don't have anybody else in place at this point.
Or a lawnmower.
Yeah, right.
And I do believe, maybe guys, that contract, I'm not, my hands on it.
So is this cheaper?
It is less
It is
to
less.
go with for the whole season, however, I'm not sure if we're gonna have a janitor on staff at that point.
Even
So I
if we have
wanted
one on staff, we still don't have a lawnmower.
This is true. However, we're still gonna have to purchase one at some point.
Yes.
So I figured I would bring it to the board and let you people decide what you think is best.
Okay, board?
Mm-hmm. How much is in that budget?
How much is in the budget?
Yes.
Currently,
Mhm.
it was $6,100 before he loaded this time.
Okay.
So we have more than enough to cover up through June 1st. I do believe we have more than enough to cover the whole contract, however, it's gonna start at
Right.
July 1st, or June 31st, July 1st. So, June 30th,
Yeah,
and then that starts at July 1st, so there'd be more than enough
okay.
in that.
Figure out where we're getting money to buy a lawnmower from.
Mhm.
I think it'd be smart to do the contract because we're not, it's either that or we're gonna use that money that we'd be paying this person to buy a lawnmower, but we don't know that we'll have somebody by then, so
Right, and I'm gonna
I think we're
get that out.
smarter in getting it mowed.
I agree.
So we need a motion.
I move that we sign the contract from 5/17/22 to 10/30/22.
Is there a second?
Second,
Any further discussion? All those in favor, Michael?
Aye.
Tom?
aye.
I'm an aye. Motion carries.
There were 2 copies of that?
There's one's a different date.
Okay,
Two different contracts.
Yeah.
There's one signature line. I do believe.
so 5,400
Mhm.
is the one we're doing, right?
Right.
Right, okay.
Do you want me to sign it, or?
Sure.
Okay. I think I signed the last couple contracts.
Okay, Conservation Commission appointments. And the Conservation Committee have all expressed a desire to stay on and continue the work that they had started.
I move that we appoint the following to the Conservation Committee: Norma Manning, Paul Miller, Karina Assiter, Samantha Corcoran, Don Rosinski.
Is there a second?
Second,
Is there any further discussion? These are all that are expressed in writing or talked to Shelley. All those in favor, Michael?
Aye.
Tom?
aye.
And the aye. Conservation Commission is appointed. Fire Department, new bunker gear, which is why we can have a meeting tonight, because we have Michael here. Would this be a conflict of interest?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. It's pretty clean. Okay, our chief got 3 quotes for new bunker gear, and they would like a minimum of 2 and possibly 3, because they have 2 new members. They're certified as interior firefighters, but they do not have the gear that is specifically sized and issued to them. And they have 1 member whose gear will soon be past date for NFPA standards. So he got a quote from Bergeron for $2,723.77 per unit. Leonard Howard from Inotex Energy, coat matching and bunker pants is $27.80. And Municipal Emergency Services quote was $2,909.50. I do appreciate him putting it in order for me.
Mhm.
So what is your pleasure, board?
Madam Chair, I move that we authorize the purchase of the equipment through Bergeron Protective Clothing.
And how many, 2 or 3?
If we need 3, we need to get 3.
I will second that. All those in favor, Michael? We're gonna ask you to vote.
You can vote
Aye.
on this.
Okay, Tom,
Aye.
and I'm an aye, motion carries. Otherwise, we're gonna have to put it off and we may need to fight fires.
Yeah, no, my pants are too short.
I've never had that
If you
problem.
look at any pictures of me and my gear, they look like it's gonna rain.
High waters, huh?
Yeah.
Great in the flood. but
Never
otherwise.
been an issue.
A FERC comment letter from, it's a joint letter. I do have a question on this letter. It says, a review of the 1979 license shows the power company and town have now implemented most of the recommended recreation facilities associated with the Vernon Dam. Specifically, Vernon Grove picnic and hiking area, portage access, potable water supply, public restrooms, Stebbins Island camping area, and fish ladder, but we do have a fish ladder.
But the town didn't. I think that the language should be changed, the power company for the town, not in the town. We didn't put the fish ladder in.
No, the power company did put it in. So that's why I'm saying, I think that, I personally, which doesn't count until the board chooses, think fish ladder should be taken off. That's the only one I had.
I think it's because last time, remember, they were complaining that it was never open.
Okay,
That's why they put it in there.
yeah.
Even though I said it was not always open, but it's been open, and they
Right.
even put a thing out today on Facebook saying it's open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it was in there, because it
Okay.
wasn't open every day like the sign says it's supposed to be.
I didn't receive a call on that this morning.
And I specifically recall that it was Vernon Grove Picnic and Stebbin Islands camping were the areas that it said in the first filing is as there is interest, we will come. And, you know, so it needs to be clear to Great River that it's not whether there's increased activity before they do the work. The work
Right.
needs to be done so that there will be increased activity.
Okay. So what do we do with this letter, I believe? Okay, no one signed it yet, right?
I think they're looking for a review.
What is your privilege, your pleasure, gentlemen? Do you want to wait till we have the whole board?
Yes.
Put this on the next agenda, June 7th. Yikes. Okay, the John Law Scholarship application. Is he still alive? He's the nicest gentleman.
This application is through the VLCT to fund our AED and CPR training in the amount of $540 for 9 staff.
So we just need to approve,
Approve it and fund it.
okay.
I move that we approve and sign the John Law Scholarship application for the town employees to be trained in CPR and AED.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there further discussion?
Quick question.
So-
Do they come annually and inspect? Is that inspected to be sure the batteries and the pads are up to date? Do you know?
That's code 3, isn't it?
I don't know, the code 3 looks at
Yeah,
that as
yeah,
well.
because the pads will go bad after a period of time.
They have dates on them.
Yeah,
Um,
they do have dates, but sometimes we just forget to, it's one of those things that slips.
Maybe that's something you could ask Wade.
I was
you
actually
can,
gonna.
I would run it by the chief, see if
Okay.
they, if anybody from the EMS side can do anything with that.
I was gonna
first.
have Rescue Inc. look at it while they
Yeah.
were here. She
Yeah.
does the training.
Say if not, like, JJ from Fire Department, this works for Rescue too, he might be able to do
Well,
it.
yeah.
Today's the 17th
Did you do the right thing?
day of,
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
well, it's all right, this needs to be done too.
Sorry.
Do we all sign this, or does,
Yep, 1, 2,
That's just
3.
one signature.
Mm.
I think that's the chair.
that's?
Yeah, it looks like it's only the
Scholarship.
chair, yeah.
Lisa's teaching the class,
Yes.
She's
This
good.
is teaching, yes.
she taught my first responder class, or helped teach it.
Okay. Rescue Inc., 3-year contract?
Looks like floodplain and
Oh,
municipal
right, thank you.
grant.
Floodplain bylaw. We did have a public hearing. Fortunately, we had one member of the planning commission here, otherwise nobody came. And what is your pleasure on the floodplain bylaw?
I move that just as the planning commission signed, we sign.
Second,
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor, Michael?
Aye.
Tom?
aye.
I'm an aye, the motion carries.
Is the motion to be to adopt?
To adopt, yes.
I accept that change.
Is that that second?
Sure.
Is that right? Okay, thank you. And then the municipal planning grant.
So it's just an administrative form,
I signed it.
that needs to be signed for each planning grant designating who
This
the
is your
administrator will be and,
Mm.
who's going to be
Who's on the sign?
in charge of expediting it and in contact with you.
So do we have a motion to approve the municipal resolution for municipal planning grant?
So moved.
Second.
Is it, okay, all those in favor, Michael?
Aye.
Yes. Tom?
Aye.
I'm an aye, motion carries. And we'll sign.
Who's that been? Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for allowing me to be late.
Oh,
You didn't
Tom,
bring
you
cake,
troop
though.
us.
I'm sorry. I missed I just ate dinner and I'm gonna catch cake on the tail end, so.
Hopefully they'll save you some ice cream too.
Mm.
Oh, Tom, it's good. Okay, Rescue Inc. 3-year contract, now we're there.
Oh, I did make a mistake. I apologize. I don't know if it means anything, but it's for after January 4th, not to January 4th. Carol corrected me, so
Okay.
I apologize.
After
But
June
the-
4th.
After June 4th, yes.
Okay.
So I'm
Thank you.
sorry,
That's okay, it's hard to know what is weather. Thank
especially
you.
when I get my hours back.
No, we leave it then. Okay, do we have the contract for rescue?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there a motion
Aye.
to approve and sign the 3-year contract with rescue?
Can I ask Shelley's opinion on it?
Yes,
No, you said,
It's exactly what they had spoke about at the meeting last year, that it's an increase of 1% from the previous contract.
and then the budget is rescue.
move that we accept it.
Sign it.
Sign it.
Is there a second?
There is a second, yes.
All those in favor, Michael?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
You sign this? This says municipal representative.
I can?
So I'd make my motion that the town administrator can sign for the select
Is that
board.
okay with you?
Yes,
Second.
all those in favor, Michael?
Aye.
Tom?
Yes.
Thank you.
Wham.
Okay, employee appreciation. We still need to do more research into this. I don't want to trash it, so can we put that on for 6-7? And fire department fuel cards, Amazon gift cards, Visa cards.
They're still talking about it, because I talked to the treasurer, and she said that it is illegal in the state of Vermont to buy reloadable gift cards, so that option's out, and we don't have an account with
Amazon.
TD Bank. So
Okay.
you have to have an account to use that TD Bank card.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll look at that again on the 7th.
Oh, God.
I think it's the only one that you need to use.
That would be 2.
Number 2 is on the, yeah, number 2. Right, number 2.
Are we, we're done?
We're ready for that.
Okay. Madam Chair, I move that we move into executive session in regards to the appointment or employment or evaluation of a public officer or employee, inasmuch as any prior public knowledge would put the town in peril.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Are we including anybody?
Yes, with the town.
Chad.
Chad
And town
and
administrator.
town administrator.
Right.
Second.
All those in favor, Michael?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
I'm an aye, the motion carries. We are in executive session.
That was nice paraphrasing.
Okay? Okay, we went to executive session at 7:12, came out at 7:26, and no action was taken.
Madam Chair, I move we enter into executive session to discuss the appointment, employment, or evaluation of a public officer or employee pursuant to Title I, Section 313A, Paragraph 5.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
I'm an aye. We are in at 7:27. Okay, we went to executive session at 7:27, came out at 7:29, and no action was taken. Our next meeting will be June 7th. I hope you all have a great summery weather to live.
Are we changing the time?
And we're going to meet at 6 o'clock. Thank you, Michael.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Aye.
Yep.
Aye. The meeting adjourns at 7:30.